Hello, I'm Wynn Adams, and Patricia Adams and myself run Adams 7A Homestead on Route 66. Today we've been processing chickens. We did 22 chickens, and they were the cinnamon queen chickens, which primarily are chickens that are egg layers. So yesterday we did 25 chickens that are Cornish rock chickens, which are primarily meat birds. So those were larger birds. They averaged 4 pounds in the freezer. These birds here that we processed today will average about 2.5 pounds in the freezer. So I'm going to walk you through really quick the process we use. We take the chickens, the live chickens, we take 2 chickens at a time, and we put them in the restraining cones, which are here. The restraining cones, we pull their necks through, their heads through rather, cut their heads off. They drain for about 2 minutes. Then they come over here into a vat of hot water, which is about between 155 and 170 degrees. I tend to let it run up closer to 175. Stick the chickens in and douse them up and down, agitate them up and down, 2 chickens at a time, agitate them up and down till the skin starts to pull away from their legs. On the chickens that have heavy feathers, like today, you really have to agitate them, get that hot water down there. Then they come out. I take 1 chicken out, drop it in the chicken plucker. This happens to be a Yardbird Chicken Plucker, works really well. Drop 1 in there, turn the water on, turn the plucker on, drop the second chicken in, let it agitate, let it run. These chickens here take about 3 times as long to defeather, to pluck, than the chickens that are your meat bird chickens, because these chickens are 3-4 years old. Their feathers are real heavy. The shaft on the feathers larger, so it's attached harder, so it's harder to come undone. So this has to run about almost a minute, 45 seconds to a minute to pluck 2 chickens. After the chickens are plucked, we come out of there. They go over here to the eviscerating table, which we try to keep it stainless steel, keep it fairly sanitary. The wife and sometimes a helper will eviscerate 2 chickens at a time. They'll cut the legs, the feet off. They cut the feet off. The feet go to in the freezer, and they're used for dog treats for dogs. They found that eating the chicken feet for dogs helps with their arthritis. Then the chickens are either cut up, but we do use package ours whole, so they're eviscerated and done, and then the whole chicken goes over here into a cold water brine solution in this large ice chest. About 25 at a time is all you want to do, so you keep the process rolling and you don't keep the chicken too long out in the atmosphere. So they're in this brine solution, cold brine solution. When we do all 25, we take them out 2 at a time, 3 at a time maybe. We put them in shrink wrap bags, and there's a tube that goes down in there with the chicken in the shrink wrap bag that lets the chicken air out of the chicken when it's heated. We take 1 chicken at a time. I've found that these large rubber gloves that I was able to find do a wonderful job. They fairly well insulate your fingers, keep you from burning your fingers. I take the chickens in the bag 1 at a time, dip them down in here. This water needs to be, I use clean water, and this water needs to be about 190 to 200 degrees. Dip them in there, hold them down for about 10 to 15 seconds. It will shrink. I take them out of there, set them over here where a helper will burp the rest of the air out, pull the silicone tube out. Then they go directly to the freezer. As quick as you can get them into the freezer, the better off you are. So that's the whole process, from pasture to freezer. The butcher chickens we use, the meat chickens, are Cornish rock chickens. I'm not a big fan of the Cornish rock chickens for that's just a personal thing. I love their meat. Their meat's good. We raise them once they get up to about 4 weeks, come out of the brooder house. We free range them, let them run out in the daytime. We feed them and they peck around. They do get like chickens, but these chickens have been bred. They're what I call an engineered chicken. They're not GMO. They've just been bred to all they do is eat and grow. So these chickens, we processed them. We got them at 4 pounds in the freezer at 11 weeks old. But if you wait too long, the chickens start deteriorating and you can lose your chickens if you wait over like 14 weeks. So you've got to stay on top of it. Next year, we're probably going to use a combination bird. We're probably going to process some of our Brahma chickens we've had as layers and process them. It takes longer, but in my opinion, it's a better life for the chicken. I know they're our food, but still yet, while they're here, we believe that our animals that are in our care should have the best life we can give them. So we have processed them. Now we know exactly where our food comes from.